There, and thank you for joining us today for this webinar on how to optimize your CRM with integration. My name's John Carini, and I'm happy to be here with you today. Uh, please, please keep in mind this is kind of an interact, and your comments and questions will be taken in a live fashion. I'll do uh, a quick slideshow, and then I'll get to like a live demo of some of our integration product pretty quickly. Try to get you out of here in a little over a half hour. So this is the obligatory subscribe slide. So please do subscribe to my channel, and we'll notify you of future videos. I'll try to give you good content, and most importantly, I want to tell my kids I'm an influencer and I'm getting close. So please do subscribe. I would very much appreciate it. Thank you. Um, okay, so I really would like this to be an interactive presentation, and that means I need your help. So if you guys could answer a few questions, and if you do have just ad hoc questions, please just put them in the comments section in YouTube. And I've already posted a few comments. I'll say post comments here, right? I already posted a few comments, but please, if you have questions during the webinar, please do ask them. I'm happy to try to address them. It makes it a lot more fun too. Okay, so I have two questions for you that I'd like you to put in the comments while I'm presenting some other slides. And that is, what CRM are you using? So you're using Salesforce, HubSpot, Zoho, maybe our own iCRM, and also what email client do you use? Is it basically, it's a Google or Outlook or Gmail or Outlook, right? Um, so please, just put like maybe, Salesforce slash Gmail or something like that. So we know what you're using. And then I'll try to tailor this a little bit to your needs. So just so you know, like it's really important when there's a webinar that you also know um, a bit about the person and where they're coming from. So I work for a company called iEnterprises, which is part of the Unaric family of companies, and we were established in 1995. Won all sorts of awards, and 1995 is like forever in the software industry, right? We got to see the computer revolution, if you will. So, um, and we have a large customer base. We have offices all over the world, and we've been doing CRM integration from the very beginning. Um, and we really are trying to be a quality company. And now we're part of this Unaric family of companies, which gives us um, a really, really good reach. Um, so as I mentioned previously, like, so I work for iEnterprises and we make an email CRM integration product. So you know where I'm coming from for this webinar and why I'm so focused on email and CRM integration. That said, I'm open to um, to any questions that are about integration outside of that. So here's our product offerings. We make these connectors, which is what I'll talk about the most. We also have our own CRM called iCRM, which is like a fully configurable CRM solution that is built into email, and it we kind of include everything at one price. We don't play this game like where we up your price, or we sell you a, a stripped down version, and and then we up your price as time goes on. So iCRM comes with everything. So does our connectors. Our connectors we sell at one price. We don't have like a small, medium, and large. We just give you everything at one price. We don't play games and up the price 2x after you buy in. That's not our game. And then we also make this connector for ChatGPT that basically integrates your email with ChatGPT. That happens to be built into these other connectors, and we also make an offline mobile CRM. So we have actually 1,200 customers plus. We've grown since this slide was made. And these are obviously some big names, but these products that we sell, they're both for both small and large companies. If you're like a smaller company, even one user, you can sign up online and pay by credit card. So before I get into this, couple of Outlook. Here's the net Salesforce Outlook. Here's the Dynamics Outlook. Another Salesforce Outlook. And then William has no CRM, so maybe you should look at iCRM. Uh, anyway, uh, if you have like specific questions, also as I'm moving along, again, please ask them. So, you know, why should you integrate your CRM with um, at all, right? So it seems obvious, but here's some studies that help us prove it out. So this Inc. study says that people spend 30 hours a week checking their email. So I think that says you need to integrate your CRM and your email, or they really won't be using it. Forbes study says that people spend only 18% of the time in CRM. This one says, Capterra says ease of use is critical. Forrester agrees, right? And then this one's really cool too. It says that when companies that make data-based decisions are 19 times more profitable. And that is really cool. So, generally speaking, we're making our customer decisions in our CRM or maybe in our email, right? And if you bring data out to that area, this study means you'll be much more profitable. So anyway, you've made a big investment in your CRM, so you need to use integration to to get the information to your users that they need in their normal workflow. So I would argue that email is the most important integration. And I kind of reused this study. Sorry about that, but that first study I had on the previous slide is really critical because 30 hours a week in email. So that's where your CRM needs to be. That's the most important integration, and that helps with ease of use. It it uh, it combines with the ordinary workflow. So what do you do every day? You're answering emails. You're reacting, right? And bringing the CRM integration in there, and maybe even some data like enhancements to the CRM data is good to bring out in email as well. So I believe you should always start with with email integration, and don't forget calendar too, right? So, but then you should also look at some other data integration points, like enhancing data, like if you get a new lead, how big is the customer, and so on and so forth. Let me ask one more question. Um, you know, what, of the people that are here on the call, what is your, call it, job function? So um, are you a salesperson? Are you the CRM administrator? Maybe you're both. That's good too. Are you like an IT manager? What's your job function? If you could put that in the chat, it would be really helpful to me. Thank you. And this, what I'll do is I'll try to tailor what I say around these answers. So let's keep on going here. So I'll talk a little bit about our connector and um, do like and show it on the screen in just a minute. So the whole idea is with CRM integration is um, to do everything from your email. As we saw with that previous study, you're sitting in your email for most of your work week. So it's very important to do everything from email and have your CRM integrated with it. So with our connector, you get a 360-degree view of all the data in the CRM. You can save emails, you can create leads, you can reply using email templates, you can and there's a background sync too, where everything gets synced in the background. And by the same token, you can do everything from the calendar as well. so that's really critical too. It's the same stuff. I won't read it. So also we have like ChatGPT AI built into this thing, so you can actually ask ChatGPT to reply to your emails for you, which is nice. But you can also do translation, which, by the way, the ChatGPT translation is kind of second to none. It really is. And then you can also surface social media links, or you can say things like, "Tell me about the person that sent this message," and it'll give you a little analysis of it, and so on. And by the way, you can just ask ChatGPT any question, and when you get our connectors, you're really getting a paid version of ChatGPT included with it, at no extra costs. Again, we only charge one price for all our products. We don't play this game where uh, we get you in at a low price and try to upsell you. So just a little bit, a lot of you are using Salesforce, um, and um, I wanted to say a few things about Salesforce, and then I see a lot of people answered the question, so I'll talk about that. I'll bring some of the answers up in a second. So Salesforce and out for Outlook and Gmail is the standard ones being retired, and basically they're trying to upsell you right onto other products, like this inbox product that costs $25 a month in addition to your regular Salesforce subscription. And Lightning Sync is also retired, and what they're trying to do is get you to move to this Einstein activity capture, which can cost about $50 a month. It depends on the size of your company. And I'd like to say ours is different. Like it's with Gmail, we're not a Chrome extension, and same thing is true with Outlook, and everything is like built into a Gmail add-on. So it works in any browser, it works on your mobile device, and Chrome extensions really aren't a good way to go. So if you're integrating your CRM with Gmail, Chrome extensions usually are not reliable. They conflict with others. They're hard to deploy. They're a security risk. Literally, they can read what's on your screen at any time, like your bank account. If you're on your bank account, it can actually read that information. And they're not available on mobile. They only work on mobile, but they're super unreliable. Whereas for our Gmail integration, we use a Gmail add-on, which kind of always works. It works well with other add-ons. It's got a centralized cloud deployment that you can deploy with a single click if you're the workspace admin, or you can install it just for yourself. It works using Gmail and connects to Salesforce or whatever CRM you're using over HTTPS. So, like that's much more secure. It communicates directly from Gmail to your CRM, whether you're using Salesforce, HubSpot, Zoho, whatever. And then this slide has a lot here, but basically the background sync in Salesforce, which is Einstein Activity Sync, for some reason syncs stuff outside of Salesforce to Amazon AWS. It leaves it there unencrypted, and it doesn't show on the normal Salesforce reports. And then it gets deleted after a year, unless you want to pay more. There's that concept again of paying more. Then you can keep it, but then only for 2 years if you pay more. Whereas our sync actually syncs directly into Salesforce. Again, this is specific to Salesforce. And it syncs to the email object, so it shows on all reports. It's fully encrypted, shows and is like right there inside of Salesforce, and you don't have to delete it after a year. You can keep it as long as you want, and only authorized users can delete it. So I won't go into too much more. If you want to try one of these products for the Outlook, you can download it from Microsoft App Source, and I'll kind of show how you do that. But it can be deployed in mass easily. So if you're the Exchange admin, you can deploy it for everyone. But if you just want to try it for yourself, I'll show you how you can install it just for yourself. And then if you're using Gmail, you can download it from the Google add-on marketplace by just clicking the plus sign. I'll show how to do that in a second too. And that's easy to deploy in mass, or you can just install it for yourself if you want. So let's see what's going on, everybody. There's a sales and project manager. These are the job title questions. IT manager. Jai, thank you for answering. President, so that's cool. Um, oh, this is cool. Lynette says she loves ICRM integrated with email in my last job. Um, so that's really nice, Lynette. Thanks for saying that. Hopefully we can get you set up again. And then manager, tech support, sales. Okay, this is back to Dynamics Outlook, project director. So thank you all for answering questions. I'm going to get into the live demo. Let's see what we have here. Keep, let's get into the live demo. And if you do have questions during the live demo, please do ask them. The majority of people use Outlook. So let me share my Outlook first. Let's start here. Okay. Yeah, by the way, I'm using a product called StreamYard for this demonstration. I have no affiliation whatsoever with StreamYard, but it's a really, really nice product to give live webinars and things. It just has such a nice professional look and feel. Anyway, StreamYard, it's excellent. And I'm only using a minuscule amount of the possibilities with this product. It's really good. So anyway, this is my Outlook, right? And if you want to install our connector, you can click, sometimes it's under the three dots, and you do get add-ins, right? Um, and then once you do that, you search for Salesforce connector, and there's ours, and you can just install it right here. Obviously, mine's already installed. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to give this demo, right? So mine is installed, but you just install it, and then it'll show up here on the top. You click on it, right? You have to open an email message, then click on it in Outlook. And then I highly recommend you click this little pin icon here and pin it so that every time you open a message, your CRM shows up. I demonstrated that with the Salesforce connector, but obviously if you're using HubSpot, you search for HubSpot or Zoho or whatever and install it that way. So once installed, the first time you install it, it'll ask you for your URL to your CRM and your login to your CRM. It doesn't store your login credentials, but it does authorize itself with your CRM. So let's go quickly over to Gmail. Oops, that's not Gmail. This is Gmail. So here's my Gmail inbox, right? And the connector shows all the connectors. Here's Salesforce, Zoho, and so on. You get them by doing get add-ons, right? And instead of searching for Salesforce, I'll search for our company name. So you can see here's all the different connectors we have. Like, for example, here's the Salesforce one with 174,000 installs and high reviews. Here's our iCRM product. So if you want to try iCRM, I recommend you just install it from Outlook or Gmail, and it'll set the whole thing up for you automatically once you register. So you can see here's the Monday one, HubSpot, NetSuite, Zoho. We have one for Sugar and so on. Anyway, if I click on one of them, you'll see I have an uninstall button because it's already installed, but you can install it really quickly for yourself. Or if you're the Google Workspace admin, you can push it out to everyone. So in Gmail, these add-ons just show on the right-hand side, and you click on them, and it shows there's built-in add-ons in Gmail, like for the calendar and so on. But anyway, if you click on this, it remembers the last one you had open, and then the next time you open Gmail, it'll just automatically open. So when I open the connector, I'm going to demo with Salesforce. Maybe I'll show a little iCRM too. But you can see it gives you some basic information like what are today's tasks and what contacts you recently viewed and so on. And then if you open a message, it goes out, in this case, to Salesforce, right? And this message here is from James Person, right? And it says it found James Person in Salesforce.com. And that's because James's email address basically matched with the email address, and it shows you all sorts of information about James here, including his company name, which is Globex, and so on. So I'm going to switch to Outlook real quick. It's really the same inbox. I'll open the same message, and you'll see that Outlook looks very similar. We just redesigned the Outlook user interface. I hope you guys like it. Um, and we're working on designing the Gmail interface to match it. But this is kind of the latest and greatest here. But you can see, because I pinned the Salesforce connector in Outlook, when I open up this email message, it kind of just says, "Hey, we found James Person in contacts, and James works for Globex Corporation." This is clickable. I can drill into the company, and here's phone numbers and things which are dialable, uh, and email address and so on. But like in its simplest form, maybe you just like log a message to James. So if I just click here, it that's it. It added the message to my CRM. So now it saved the message in the CRM, and I can see it under James. Or maybe I want to link it to other objects, including custom objects. And you can see I can, select any object, again, including custom objects, and link it instead to that. And now it actually moved that email message to the opportunity, right? If I'm going to scroll down, here's some social media links, and then here's the related records. This happens to be from Salesforce.com, and it's the related records to Globex Corporation, which is the company that James, who sent the message, works for, right? And I can toggle between James and the company. I like seeing the company stuff. And then you can see here's that opportunity I already linked to. I could have just linked it here. Instead, I could scroll down, or maybe link it to this other opportunity, by just clicking here as well. There's also the opportunity to add an opportunity, pardon the pun. Um, and you can add it right here. I'll get into that a little more later. I'm going to scroll back up, and we'll kind of explore some more here. So I mentioned the ChatGPT stuff. It is really cool. Um, so I can say to ChatGPT, um, I want to reply to this message using ChatGPT, and and I just click it, and I can say and reply what are they interested, right? So, and then I can say whether I want to preview and refine. I click that, goes out to Chat GPT, and like this person says, send me a quote for your product. Well, I have multiple products. So I'll ask ChatGPT to answer. Thanks for reaching out. Can you tell me what product you're interested in so I can provide you with an accurate quote? And then I can refine this message and say, so ask how many they want. Right. I know this is like, yeah, this looks good. I know it's a very basic, um, integration example with ChatGPT, but it can save you a lot of time. So this looks good. I can create reply here using what ChatGPT came up with. And then again, this is the paid version of ChatGPT, and it's included with our product at one price, right? No, you don't have to pay extra. Um, and here it is. It replied to the message for me, which is great. And I can edit it before I send it. It's like a draft, right? I click send, and boom, that's it. So going back to here and putting up the Salesforce connector. Other things you can do is you can ask ChatGPT general questions. So tell me about the person that sent this message, or tell me about Globex Corporation, which is actually the fictitious Simpsons company. Um, right? And it'll go out to ChatGPT and give you like an overview, and it's pretty cool. It actually knows Globex is a Simpsons company, right? But it'll say things like, if you put in a real company, it would say really cool things like how many employees they have and so on. So, do you guys think this is cool? Do you think the ChatGPT stuff is interesting, or you want to get into other stuff? Let me know in the chat, please. So you can ask further questions or just ask any question of ChatGPT. And then I'm going to toggle. I was here. I'm scrolling down. I was here looking at the ChatGPT tools. There's Salesforce tools too, um, right? And in the Salesforce tools, you can reply with templates. I really like this on mobile. Um, you can set up auto sync here and everything too. There's also social media links, so it'll surface like the LinkedIn profile, for example. You can click on it, go out to LinkedIn. Let's do a little, let me see if I can show you a little bit on mobile. This might take a second, so I apologize. If you do have questions, someone says it's time saving. Thank you. Uh, yeah, Salesforce Outlook. Okay. Let me try to get my mobile going for you guys here. Give 1 second. Uh, Anyway, if you do have questions, okay. This is like the new mirroring tool. This is cool. Uh, if I go into Gmail, for example, um, and I open up a message in Gmail, right? This is in happens to be Gmail, right? I'll show Outlook in a second. Then down at the bottom here are those same icons that let me go. Give me 1 sec. Let me go here and kind of show you how um, these icons here at the bottom are the same as the ones on the side in Gmail, right? And if I click on the Salesforce one, it brings up the exact same sidebar in Salesforce, but at the bottom. So everything is available on mobile. It's pretty much 100% fidelity here on mobile. Um, Same thing for our eyes. This is our iCRM. I'll show a little bit more of that. So let's look at the Outlook one. Now, I think I got to figure out how to do. I remember. This is my real iPhone. It's pretty cool, actually, that this works so well. Let's go to Outlook here, and we'll take a look at the comparison there. So in Outlook, let's go back. We'll go to this message, right? It's these three dots. So you click on the three dots, and again, you get these icons, just like the icons up here for the add-ins, they're called in Outlook. And you can do, for example, show Salesforce, and then it comes up in a full screen, but you can see it's exactly the same thing that's on the right-hand side here. So full fidelity, integrating your Outlook and Gmail apps with mobile. I really like um, replying to messages using ChatGPT and things like that from here because it's super useful. So anyway, I will quit iPhone mirroring. That actually worked, which was very nice. The other like real big use case is you get a message from someone who is not in Salesforce or whatever CRM. Um, yeah, let me actually someone Lynette, thank you for this is a really good question. First, we have very cool, thank you. Um, yeah, what is auto sync? What is it syncing? It's a good question. It's really hard to show automatic sync in a demo because it's like a background thing, right? But the bottom line is um, you can connect your Salesforce and your email, and then it'll sync mail and uh, calendar and contacts if you want. I don't really recommend syncing contacts up to the CRM because you'll get junk data. But then you have all these sync settings. You can say whether you want to sync incoming or outgoing emails, both, um, and then whether you can like turn off internal emails, so not sync those. And then you can set other rules, like if you wanted to not sync emails that came from your lawyer or your bank or something, you could turn that on. And then there's similar rules for the calendar where you can sync. I actually see people using the calendar sync more than the email sync, just because it's really important, especially if you have like some workflow or something in your CRM that syncs. Um, you can you can actually set like meetings and things automatically from your CRM and then have them sync out. But anyway, the automatic sync, it just does everything automatically, so you don't have to click around. While you still can use the sidebar, and with the sidebar and on mobile too, you can get intelligence from the integration with email and CRM, if you will. So that's my brief overview of automatic sync. Thank you, Lynette, for pointing me in that direction. So as I was saying, the other big use case is you get an email from someone who's not in your CRM. So what do you do for that? So I got Bill Gates sent me a message. He says he was referred by Steve Wozniak, and then you can see Bill is not in my Salesforce in this case, but I can add Bill as a contact or a lead by just clicking here. And you can see it worked well because Bill's like a real person, and it brought up Bill's social media links here. I could click on it, it'll take me right out to LinkedIn or and show me, Bill's profile, for example, right? Um, where I was in Outlook. Sorry, I got. Anyway, so then you can add Bill as a lead or a contact. If I click to add as a lead, one thing I'll mention is the whole uh, these connectors are metadata driven. So what that means is it automatically detects your CRM configuration, whatever it is, and presents all the fields, for example, um, that you have already laid out for your lead object, in this case in Salesforce. So I can fill all this in, and it puts in as much as possible. It even uses LinkedIn to get some information, and then click save, and it'll save Bill in there, and then you can log the email against him. Another really cool use case is you get an email from someone who has, maybe, we don't like problems, but maybe somebody has a problem with one of your products, right? And they send it with an attachment in the connector. If you scroll down, remember there was this related area. So um, I can see there's a bunch of cases here, and I can create a case, for example, or an opportunity. If this wasn't a problem, it was an opportunity. I click plus, and again, it's completely metadata driven. You can fill in all the case stuff. It'll just get assigned to the appropriate person, and hopefully gets resolved quickly. It takes the attachment, which is this beautiful picture, and the description from the subject or the body of the message, if you will, and just assigns it. So it's really, I feel like it's very time saving. Um, Someone said, is the lead the same as an opportunity in this scenario? No, not really, Lynette. It's like you have a lead, and then that's just a person that's contacted you. Sometimes they'll tell you about an opportunity. In this scenario, it's like there would be a lead who contacted me that I saved, and then maybe they tell me they want to buy, 50 users of my product. That's when I create the opportunity. That's typically the way it works, but it's every company's different. There are companies that kind of use leads and opportunities synonymously, if you will, and you can do that if you can configure iCRM, or you can configure Salesforce that way. Speaking of iCRM, let's take a quick peek. Um, so if I click on this iCRM icon here, you can see that it kind of works exactly the same way. If I open up um, something um, from iCRM, I can add the email to iCRM. I can link it to um, link it to anything, including cases or opportunities or whatever, or create any object. And iCRM has custom objects, and that I can open the contact here. I can edit it right here, right? And it works the same way. You can like toggle between required fields only, which is cool because it's limited real estate. Or maybe this real estate isn't good enough. I can open it in iCRM and it actually takes me out to this person in iCRM. You can do the same thing with Salesforce, right? Like, or Zoho or HubSpot. But now it took me to James. I can edit James right here um, in iCRM. And then it's pretty simple interface here. I won't demo this product, but you can go from object to object, and it's got accounts and contacts and leads and opportunities. We really have a cool subscription tracking mechanism or contract tracking mechanism, and you can search it up here and so on. So it's pretty similar to other CRMs. Um, don't forget your calendar too. That was one of my slides, I think, right? Uh, and let me go back. I'll do this from Google. If I go to my calendar, important to have calendar integration. I wish my calendar really looked like this. So I'll put a meeting on here, right? And then you can invite your customers, right? So the person we've been working with is James person. So I save it, and then keep in mind the background sync for the calendar, which I highly recommend, um, can um, and sync this, or you can open up the same sidebar and see all the information about the person you scheduled this with. So that's the Outlook integration. Do we have any other questions? Outlook calendar. It's the same thing in the Outlook calendar. This one is interesting. Can we sync? Yeah, and you could sync contacts with birthdays, uh, and then wish them happy birthday. I'm assuming that's what you want to do. So sure. Um, we're almost done. Any other questions? If not, I will go back and I'll give you some pricing and stuff. So anyway, I really do believe that email and calendar integration is the most critical form of CRM integration. There's other integrations that are important, and like enhancing data, like when you get a new lead, how big is the company the lead works for, and so on, and maybe putting that information in your CRM and then surfacing in an email, I think is critical. So here's the pricing. So the connector, which is works with any CRM almost, it's $24.95 per user per month, paid monthly. So you can just put in a credit card and pay monthly. There's no commitment. You can cancel online at any time, right? Like we don't mess around with like making you call a number and then waiting on hold and all that. It's amazing. Like I go companies that are completely automated, then you have to call them up to cancel a subscription, which is crazy. And then it's discounted to $19.95 per user per month, paid annually, right? Um, and it has volume discounts. And then iCRM, which is our own CRM product that's already integrated with email, like Gmail and Outlook, and QuickBooks for that matter, is $34.95 per user per month, paid monthly, or $29.95 per user per month, paid annually. There is a minimum of 2 users, but that's it. Like it includes everything. And again, both products include all features. We don't play around and say, "Oh, you want to buy this product at this low price," and then um, when you realize that um, that like you need you need the next version of the product, they 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 like up your price sometimes like 10x. It's crazy, and that's what Salesforce does. Um, yeah, here's one more question. Does any CRM that you collect by your client? Yeah, you can. So in iCRM or in Salesforce or whatever CRM, you can create like a birthday field or an anniversary field or something. And then, like with iCRM, you can even just automate it. You can send an email message through an automation that wishes them a happy birthday, and you don't have to do a thing. So that's pretty cool. I think you can do that with Salesforce too, and I'm not sure about like HubSpot. I know you can do it with Dynamics. So anyway, that brings me with that question. Thank you, Lynette. You enter, kept it entertaining. I appreciate it. If you do have further questions, you're gonna one more. One more. It works with HubSpot. Search for like HubSpot connector in the in Outlook app source. Get add-ins in Outlook or in Gmail add-ons, right, with the little plus sign. Anyway, if you do have more questions, that's the last question, I'm afraid. Please just email us at sales@iEnterprises.com or give us a call at this phone number here. I really appreciate you all joining, and don't forget to subscribe. Sorry to ask again. And hopefully you found this webinar useful. And I'll wrap up with this picture from many years ago of myself. So thank you so much again for joining. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Be well.